And I'd like to welcome you to The World Show. It's a brand new cool TV chat show I'm doing on TV with some cool and interesting people and some boring shit people too, because sadly that can't be avoided. When the dweebs in the penguin suits asked me to do the TV show, I said fine, I'll turn this bucket of bolts around, but only if you let me be myself and approach it with the Hollywood bad boy energy of a Colin Farrell. They said no way it can be done. You can't at most be as much of a bad boy as John Mayer. And I was like, I've never heard so much horse shit since the last time I lucid dreamed that I went to the Kentucky Derby and won $1 trillion on the ponies. How about we split the difference, I said, and I'll just be as much of a bad boy as Jared Leto. Now, if you can believe it, those naive suckers took the bait. Even though we all know that my man Jared loves to party hardy, he was the friggin' Joker, for Christ's sakes. Yes, my friends, they only gone and let the fox in the GD hen house. Now the next problem was the show's name. The boffin said, "Oh Ross, can we please call it the European show because we only want it to be the best TV show in Europe." And I just laughed to stop from crying. And then I put my healthy banana milkshake down and I hit him with this. Look guys, I never do anything by halves. Just ask my bloody volleyball tutor. If I'm going to do this bucket of bolts, it's going to be the best show in the whole world. And they said, yes sir, we'll call it the whole globe show, sir. And I said, you dirtbags got less brain power than a friggin' Klingon soccer squad. We're gonna call it the World Show. And the GD suckers just clapped like minions at the Minions World Cup. So we had the perfect host, yours truly, and we had the badass name, the World Show. And then the Krellboy said, but Rossi, this is a chat show. What are we gonna do about guests? And I said, well, that's not my problem, buzzards. But I've got 4 words for you. Get the jackass crew. 2 weeks later, these samps send me an email saying, Rossi, bad news, Johnny Knoxville said no. Steve O has said no. All the jackass dudes said no. So we went out and got a bunch of no-names from Edinburgh and Glasgow to be in the TV show instead. Took a moment, aside, and I thought, as Jake Gyllenhaal once said on the set of Love and Other Drugs, it looks like it's going to be up to this little old me to get this sick old mule across the finish line by my bloody self. Fortunately, the many years that I've spent as the sole moderator of an unpopular Space Marines web forum have prepared me for disappointments such as these, and I was able to bravely take it on the chin like an unbeatable galactic warrior. Those of you who know me well will know that I'm an enormous Dr. Gwyneth Paltrow nut. Yep, I'm a card-carrying gooper, and as the goop system has improved my self-worth immensely. So it's not surprising that it was while I was reading Dr. Gwyneth's autobiography, It's All Good, that I found the final jigsaw piece that this puzzle was missing. Dr. Gwyneth wrote, Goop Troop, if you're ever starting a new professional, creative, or even psychosexual endeavour, write a manifesto. Write a manifesto, she said. So I did. I summoned all my hog bravery and all my hog gumption, and I wrote a dang manifesto for this bucket of bolts. I'd like to share it with you now. Number 1. The World Show will always be perfect. Nobody will make any mistakes. Number 2, mistakes are the product of sloth and dullness. We shall brook no sloth. We shall brook no dullness. Number 3, book Mike Nichols and Elaine May on the show. Fingers crossed. Number 4, that's blank. I didn't do one for that. And number 5, Family Guy impressions are encouraged on the World Show, but only Ross Foley may be permitted to do Stewie Griffin. So with all that out the way, let's get on with the show, Lewis. It's a Stewie Griffin impression. Now, with that all taken care of, I'd like to press on with a really excellent first show we've got for you. But it's crucial that I introduce you to 2 interesting fellows who are going to help me out. The first of those is Phil O'Shea, our musical director. Phil, good evening.
It's good to be here, Ross.
Oh, it's very good for you to be here, Phil. Now, tell me, what is that thing on that desk you got there?
We've got the iPad set up for taking Zoom calls later on, and we've got an earpiece there, so it's all quite high-tech.
Yeah, but I mean the green doohickey there you got there with all the keys on it. What's that for?
Oh, this...
that doohickey, yeah.
Yeah, it's a keyboard, so...
Key what? Looks like an old-fashioned piano. Looks like an old-fashioned piano.
I've never heard someone take the I out of that word like that, but I can see how it would... Yeah, it's a piano, but it's more modern version, isn't it? Because it's got the
Digital, yeah.
It's electric and
Well,
yeah.
that's all very interesting, and I'm sure we'll hear more from your doohickey later on in the show. Thank you, Paul O'Shea. Now, I'd also like to introduce...
Phil, but...
Paul O'Shea. I'd also like to introduce... Well, how do I introduce such a man? He's an intrepid and interesting young fella with a hell of a LinkedIn profile. I'm sure you won't mind me saying that.
No.
Gentlemen, he's going to try and break a world record. Ladies and gentlemen, it's James Macintosh.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Special guest. And you're
Not
going to try
break. Will be
He's
breaking.
going to break.
Going to break.
Power of positive thinking. I always say that. Yeah, I think positive thinking is very important. When I was in the youth checkers league, I used to send out an email every morning to all the other members of the league and say, I will beat you. And I was 15th or 16th in the region, but I always felt an edge.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't play you. They just go like, sort of, we already feel beaten.
Yeah.
He's done it, yeah.
So positivity is important. But what record exactly are you going to try?
We are going to be beaten. So world record is for eating 10 apples in a minute. That seems impossible. We're all saying. I'm going to do it. So I've got my favourite apples here, the Granny Delicious, and we're going to be breaking the.
Can I just see one of those? Could you throw me one of these just to confirm these out? You'll need all of them, but are these?
Okay, 2 hands.
3, 2, 1.
Easy.
Okay. Well, it's a real apple. I can confirm it's a real apple. So you need this one probably because you're going to do all 10.
I'll be later on.
Right. Well, I won't. Let's not wait. Let's not stand on ceremony. I think we should just try the world record. Start the show with a world record.
Yeah.
Phil, would you be able to play any Apple-y music you might have? Or?
Okay. Well, how about...
Would you rather without music?
The music does put me off. Is there anything more like he's already bloody done it? Is there anything
like a more upbeat...
Yeah.
Have you got footballs coming home on that thing? A CD player?
Let's see what we got
Is
here.
it a CD player?
I just don't... I don't know if you need copyright for these or all...
Don't worry about it.
You know the one that goes like... Can you make that last a minute?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think let's go for it.
Right,
so,
okay. Well, we're going to start...
Gentlemen, we're going to start the timer.
Start a timer. And no, the record is 10. Well, no, the
10 in a minute.
Well, the UK record is 8. Who wants to do Mr. Apple UK? No. Mr. Apple World's what we're going for.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to try. Right. So I've got a timer on my... usually use this for my Tabata hit workouts when I get all buff.
Yeah.
But I'll put it on just for 1 minute. No, and a start of 10 seconds.
Okay.
He's going to bloody do it. Right?
10-minute setup time, that's legal within Guinness, we checked. Yeah. So don't call Guinness.
And these are, regulation...
Granny Smith, small Granny Smiths.
We've got small grannies.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
So
3. Ready?
No, what's... Count down to 10.
Okay. 10. Count down to do the 10. 3, 2, 1.
10.
9. 8. 7. Until the record.
Get to
6 until the record. 3 until the record. 2. 1. Eat apples! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching history being made on the World Show here. Why would you watch Ant Deck Takeaway when you could have Apple Eater online? How was the already done 1, nearly? Got about 15 seconds in and he's making great guns. That's 1 apple. Don't worry, just keep going. Don't worry about the tuxedo, we've got plenty of those. Almost wonder if a minute is too long. Don't worry about talking. Don't talk. James, just 30 seconds to go. 20 seconds to go. Just say 1. Eat 1 of them. Don't eat 2 and 1 at a time. We rehearsed this. It went much better. Alright, well that's -1. And 5, 4, 3. Oh, you can still do all 10! Oh, we're out of time. Thank you for Shay, music maestro. What about that then, ladies and gentlemen? How many did he do?
We're close.
Nearly 1. And the world record was 10, so we're not even remotely close. But
1 looks like half of a 10.
well, 1, the difference between 1 and 10 is 0, I like to say.
Exactly.
So there you go, that's a little philosophy for you.
Because I just wanted to help you out on your big day.
Don't feel that you need to talk while you're chewing. Me and Phil will talk about. Phil, what do you think of that? Was that musically inspiring to you?
I hope I helped. It was a spectacle to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I might put that in my catalogue now. Yeah, well, you know, it's just good to get a bank of things you go to.
Yeah.
Riff. I think they call them riffs. Is that a riff?
Songs, I think.
Well,
sings and songs.
Let's not go crazy. If we can get a few riffs in.
Well, you're talking over my head now. I'm not bloody Beethoven. Anyway, so I suppose we might as well get this out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. I was hoping to do this under more happy auspices and introduce James as a new world record holder, but in lieu of that, I'll just say this is James, and we're not strangers, are we, James? We've met before,
no.
And actually, and this is going to blow a few minds, James is my godson. A few years ago, James came to me. We're the same age. Yeah. Probably 2 years ago, you came to me and you said, I'm feeling a bit lost, I need some spiritual guidance, and would you be my godfather?
Yeah.
And you got down on one knee, and you held up a bowl of water, and you asked me that, and I understood what you meant.
Well, I'm glad you understood, yeah. Because I was pardon my French, but I was down in the dumps. I felt pretty bad. I've been...
Sorry, James. Little joke. TV, you do jokes on TV.
Oh, yeah.
My friend just got a job working at a sewage treatment plant. Ever since he started there, he's been down in the dumps.
There you go.
So
that's good. I can imagine that.
Can
I try it as well?
Yeah, have a go at that.
My friend's been down in the dumps because he just got a new job in the sewage canal.
Very good. Great.
Sorry.
So see, jokes work twice. Now, James.
Yeah, because, oh, God. Do you remember me that time? I'm much better now. I'm all dressed up.
You're welcome.
I've got a new job. I've got a hat for the millionaires. And yeah, if I was down in the bloody dumps, I've been banned off Xbox Live for, you know...
For smurfing.
For smurfing.
Yeah.
For smurfing, for trolling.
He's smurfing again, folks.
For, like, oh, you're not a McCree main. And I'm like, alright. I tried it, but whatever. They got me off the buddy.
But you've got a lot going on. Life is on the up. That's the takeaway you want.
Yeah. I got world record. Can I try it again? I was so close.
Do it in 10 seconds, and then we'll times it by 6, whatever you do in 10 seconds, and then that'll be the same. So, go. 10. I'll just type 10.
But get 9, the music.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
We're at 1.
Less than 1. So times that by 6 is less than 6. Well, as my uncle would say, James, you live and learn. That's something that he came up with, and I hope that'll be helpful to you to think about that. Other than the Apple shit, pardon my French, as you said earlier, what have you got going on?
I saw a diamond on the internet.
Okay. Go on, tell us more. That sounds really interesting.
I don't want to brag, but you can just Google it if you've got the new Samsung. And Google diamonds.
I'm
Google
on
gold.
Lenovo, but I think it works.
You're on what?
I'm on Lenovo.
Lenovo?
It's the subpar laptop brand. I'm on Lenovo.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure you can get on your one as well if you paid the monthly subscription.
I get Google.
You get Google?
I get Google, kid.
Oh, you might be alright then.
Yeah.
So you go on Google.
Yep.
You type in. I could type in diamond, right? And I was thinking like they're gonna show me like the word diamond, Neil Diamond. That'd be rubbish. But you get to see like an actual big diamond next to like a little guy. I've got a lot going.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
It was tough, right? But I did send you that email. I got my, alright, can you help me out? I'll help you out in the show. We got a really good show. I'll dress up for it. And you said, what was he said? So it was very inspirational. You went like, oh, whatever makes you happy.
I think I said chase your bliss.
Yeah.
I think I would have said chase your bliss, and that is words that I live by. I wake up every morning and I think chase your bliss.
That's at the bottom of every email, though.
Yeah, well, it's my signature. They call it a signature, which is just
those are from you.
Yeah.
Oh.
You've been getting a lot of them recently because I've been telling you to learn songs. I don't know that necessarily that message has gone through.
I just thought it was spam because it said chase your bliss. I thought it was some sort of self-help thing. I'm sorry. I'll check. I'll look.
Well, that may be my mistake because I have been titling my emails things like "Make your penis bigger" because I thought that would attract you to open. You'd be excited by the content and you would open them. But maybe now, in retrospect, I might have sent them to your spam email, Phil. So for that, I apologise. And
you opened them, though.
Yeah, you opened them. So you're a liar. Because if you saw the signature, you saw them. Thank you, James. That's really good. Godson, Godfather, beating you up, just like the movies. Remember the Godfather movies?
I haven't seen them.
Do you play that on the keyboard?
Oh, what does it? How does it go? Oh, you've basically done it now. There's no need to.
All right. Well, James, anything else you want to share about your life or things that you've got going on? Because we will have you on every week, so this is.
Well, I've been weirdly just talking to Will over here. That like keeps
It's Phil.
Paul. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Paul. I've been learning to play guitar.
Okay.
So, don't know. Maybe we could. I mean, I've not got it here obviously now, but could you like play what I'm playing? And we'll just.
Oh, we could probably do a guitar sound. That's just. Just get that on there. No.
I mean,
Nice.
You guys could do this in your own spare time.
Yeah, but it would be fun. I'd love to see it.
Seems like a you project rather than a TV project. You've got to remember we're competing with University Challenge, or we're competing with go-karts, live go-karts when we do this, and we've got to be really entertaining. So you pissing about on the fucking key flap isn't
I'm
really
so
doing
close.
That for me, Paul.
Phil. Let's just get this right. Okay, there we go. Guitar.
Sounds like a lute. Sounds like a lute, and you know it.
For such a futuristic implement.
For such a futuristic implement, it sounds like a lute.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Godson, Godfather teaming up again.
Is that better?
Horrible.
Oh yeah, it's like got the Angus Young is in the room. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Folks, we've had a little bit of an iffy start to the show, if I'm honest. We've had the failed world record attempt. He seems to be eating more apple in his own leisure time, which I encourage you not to do on a TV show. It's rude. And then we've had Luke Boy over here. So we're going to go to a break, I think, if that's possible. We're going to hear from a sponsor. Because we do have to pay the bills somehow, ladies and gentlemen. And when we come back from that sponsor, let's try and up our energy in our game a little bit, boys, okay? So let's hear from our first sponsor, Dry World Inverness.
Today's show is brought to you by Dry World Inverness. We used to be North East Scotland's biggest water park, but then we got dry. The water's all gone, but the fun is still here. No diving, no bombing, but run all you like. It's Dry World.
A word from our sponsor, Dry World Inverness. Seems like a pretty rad place to take the family. James, will you be taking the kids there anytime soon?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get in?
Oh, it didn't say, so I imagine free. If it doesn't say, it's free.
If it's free, I'm taking the kids.
Okay, great, fantastic. How are your little ones doing? Little Jane and John, I think.
John and Jane.
Okay, Phil, you've got any kids?
No.
Ever been to a dry theme park?
Yeah, I went to this. It was the history of weaving. It was more of a museum than a park, but it was.
Well, you get to have a go. I'd say it's a theme park.
Yeah, you got to interact with it, so it was. It was a fun day out.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, did you hear what I said about energy, guys, on the other side of the show? Probably not. Why don't we all shout the word weaving just to get energetic? 3, 2, 1. Weaving!
Weaving! Ah.
Okay. Well, I think that speaks volumes. Guys, you'll be pleased to know it's not just us you'll be hearing from on this little thing we call TV show. We've actually asked some of our viewers and fans to send in their videos about topics that we find interesting. And this week, we're going to be hearing about conspiracy theories, which I'm sure we can all agree is an interesting topic. James, I know you're partial to a conspiracy theory or two.
Well, you call them that, I call them truth.
Fair enough. But you know what I say about conspiracy theories, James? I say conspiracy theories are like assholes. I generally try and steer clear of them. Okay. But anyway, so we asked some of the World Show's viewers what they thought of conspiracy theories, and in a new segment we're calling Your World, here's what they had to say.
The thing about Stanley Kubrick is he didn't just fake the moon landing, he also faked The Shining. America never put a man in the Overlook Hotel. This did all that on a soundstage with actors and special effects.
The strangest conspiracy theory, I believe, it's a little bit out there, okay, but I think that there's this government that's in charge and controls the country, and it's this group of people, and they make laws and rules, and if you don't follow them, they can like take you away and lock you up. It's like something out of an Adam Curtis documentary.
The strangest conspiracy that I believe to be true is to do with the Free Britney movement. You might have seen the New York Times documentary Framing Britney Spears. Some people believe that Britney Spears is sending us messages asking for help through Instagram, but what I believe is that she doesn't have a phone. She doesn't even know what Instagram looks like, so she's not sending us messages.
Conspiracy theories? There's no such thing. They were just made up by the government to control us.
What is up with this? This does not look good. For me, I think the biggest conspiracy that affects me is the conspiracy that the reason that Greg's that looks better, doesn't it? That looks hot. The reason that Greg's like stuff is like cold, you know, and like not hot is because of like tax or something. Is that a conspiracy? Is that what a conspiracy theory is? Because I think that is, you know, or the one that Avril Lavigne is dead. Is that a conspiracy? I don't even know what a conspiracy theory is.
Show, the only TV show that promises to be good every single episode. I'm Ross Foley, and I'm joined by James.
Hello.
And Phil.
Hiya.
Say hi, guys. We've had some notes in from our viewers already on these cue cards that I got. I got these off Amazon. Got a really good deal on them. Nice. Pretty good size. Nice. So I'm just going to go through some of these and just try and be honest. Our first note is from Donna in Spain, and that says, Phil, where did you get that red suit?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really, I enjoy this suit, and I'm glad to be here. Any questions about it? So, yeah.
Evasive. Okay. Another note we've got here. James is walking in the garden. He is an ant. I crush the ant. And that's from Madame Kelly, age 99. Any response to that, James?
I'll crush Madame Kelly 99.
Okay, so...
Seems aggressive.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be a fight that we could broadcast maybe next week.
Oh, we
got one here from Baby Boy, age 10. It says, Ross looks like the kind of guy who probably owns more than one Ronald McDonald costume. Am I right or am I right? Don't appreciate the subtext of that. I own none, just for the record. Although I do own a Grimace costume, the big purple guy. In relation to our last video, we just played conspiracy theories, and thanks to all the contributors for that. We have a note here which says, conspiracy theory just made up, relax. And that's from Monsieur Rothschild at the Vatican. Okay. It's good to know this is being seen in Italy and even in enclaves within Italy. Great show, guys. Also, Becca, if you're watching, please unblock me. I promise I've changed. And that's from Dennis, the former menace. Name sounds like some sort of internal drama there. Ross, if I ever witness a murder, I'm going to describe your face to the police. Haha. Okay. Well, online trolls, isn't it?
I guess so.
James, where is your suit's boutonniere?
Ah, they're on my button leg. It's one of my jokes, I'd say.
That's like a little flower there.
Oh, right. Well,
doesn't have one, does it?
Doesn't have, I've got flowers on my bum bag, and I've got apples on my bum bag. I'm happy. You seem to be judging me.
Should be fine enough. Another one for James. James, snog, marry, avoid. I love these. This is so funny.
Okay.
Young Sheldon, or Stuart Little, and that's from James in Edinburgh, age 29.
Yeah. So whoever that is, I would marry young Sheldon because it's funny. Shag old Sheldon and snog the other one. No,
snog Stuart Little. He's a talking mouse, folks.
Yes, snog Stuart Little.
Okay, great, fantastic.
I would go in my mouth. And then that could be like a little house for the mouth.
Oh, wow. A little hot under the collar, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, last one here. This is from Mr. Frank Caliendo in Chicago. He just says, can you guys do any impressions?
Oh,
Phil, any impressions?
Well, yeah, I've always wanted to do an impression.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
The question wasn't, do you want to do an impression? It's, can you do any impressions?
I mean, I like doing a Paul McCartney, you know, from the Beatles. I like doing his voice.
Oh, from the Beatles?
Yeah, so I just really like sort of doing his. You know what it's like when you do an impression and
Yeah.
you hear the sound and it like reminds you of it's not. It doesn't have to sound exactly like him, but it's close enough that you're like, oh, it reminds me of.
So you're going to do an impression that you know it's Paul McCartney, but it doesn't remind you of Paul McCartney.
Well, it's, now we've talked about it a lot, and yeah, okay.
Just say, "Will you marry me?" in Paul McCartney's voice.
Yeah, but who's this? Who's this? Who's this?
Will you marry me?
Prince Philip, very good. James, do you do any impressions?
Well, I can do a better Paul McCartney.
No, do a different one.
Oh, right.
Do someone American.
American?
Yeah.
All
John
right,
Wayne,
okay.
do John Wayne.
Okay. Take me to the Americans.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
We should have done the impressions instead of the apples, because that was really good.
Do you think the world's best impression?
I think maybe next week we'll have you do the impressions and not do any more of the apple shit.
I could probably do like 10 in a minute.
Yeah, I don't think there needs to be a timed element of it. It's just really funny on its own right.
Okay.
We'll talk about this after.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
sorry folks, that's just a little behind the scenes talk there from me and James. Very impressed by that. That was really genuine, really good.
Oh, get me to the chapels.
It's the spit of him. It's like he's in the room.
It's a gift.
It's a talent.
It's a gift.
Speaking of talent, I'd like to get to another guest, because the World Show is all about guests. We're just the bloody plumbers, aren't we? Just to help the guest water get to your toilet. And we'd like to ask someone who is very special and dear to our hearts. Sorry, I've just put my earpiece in, FBI style. I want to be like James Bond. And our next guest is Claire Jones. Now, Claire Jones is a self-described pop superstar who's about to make the self-described comeback of the millennium. Let's take a look at her new single, Grey Tracksuits and French Bulldogs, and when we come back, we'll talk to Claire. Thank you.
Hi, my name is... hair in my mouth, hair in my mouth, hair in my mouth, hair in my mouth. Hi, my name is Claire Jones, and I am the 9th member of S Club 8, and you are going to be happy to hear that I have a comeback single. Sorry, there's a siren in the background, called French Bulldogs and Grey Tracksuits. Here we go. Okay. Shit. Fuck off, fuck off! French Bulldogs and Grey Tracksuits, yeah, dining for two, yeah, dining for two, yeah. French Bulldogs and Grey Tracksuits, yeah, dining for two, yeah, dining for two, yeah. I've got Netflix and Amazon Prime, yeah, and Disney Plus 2, yeah, Disney Plus 2, yeah. That means I am a triple threat, yeah, and I'm gonna do well, I'm gonna do well. My shoes are Balenciaga, I buy my salads from Pret Manger. I'm drinking a double espresso at Pizza Express, but don't get dough balls. It's not 1998 though. Selling my sitcoms on Depop. Vintage next, yeah, vintage next, yeah. Selling my stuff on eBay, but then I regret it, then I regret it. Lily Instagram says that she's the queen of mice, queen of MySpace. Well, guess what, everybody, I'm the queen of Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. My favourite crisp is a Walker's Max. My biggest inspiration is Robbie Williams' Rude Backs. It rhymes. I'm in Mark Ronson's contacts. I don't wear glasses. I always wear contacts. I was the 9th member of S Club 8. Now I'm making a comeback with this very cool and catchy and memorable track. Here we go, sing along. French Bulldogs and Grey Tracksuits, yeah, dining for two, yeah, dining for two, yeah. I've got Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I've got fuck it. Fuck the lyrics. Thank you, I've been Claire Jones, and you'll soon hear my story, my comeback story. I'm going to be doing a tour of the UK, starting in Hemel Hempstead, ending in Amersham, and I'm really overcome a lot of struggles to get here. Thank you.
Single from Claire Jones. I'm sure we all enjoyed it very much. And we now have the privilege of actually speaking to Claire herself. And this is quite a moment for me. Claire, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you are basically pop royalty. Am I wrong?
You are definitely not exaggerating anyway. I am pop royalty. I know that everyone already knows this, but I am the 9th member of S Club 8. Like, you can see me in the videos. You can see my shadow in the kind of like, you know, in the video, you can see me. I'm dancing in the wings. My shadow's there.
And Claire, sorry if I may just quickly step in for any of our viewers who've been living under a rock for 1,000 years. S Club 8 are also known as post S Club Juniors, and they wrote the song "One Step Closer to Heaven, Baby" means one step closer to you. Am I wrong?
Yes, an absolute hit. And my single is going to be that 2.0.
Times a million, or times 2. Okay. Not as much as a million, but a lot.
It's going to be great. And, you know, I actually went on tour with like S Club 8. Wow. And I would like, I couldn't actually go on the bus, but I would like drive alongside the tour bus, and then like they'd be playing in like Wembley, and I would just kind of like...
Claire, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but I've got to say James and I are microwave nuts, and I'd kick myself if I didn't ask you this question while I've got a genuine bona fide pop star right here in our midst. And this is something I've always wondered about. Is it true that pop stars, rock stars, tour buses actually have a microwave on the bus that works?
Well, I'm going to have to ask you a question, and that is, I'm going to just flip this on its head, because I'm just a real quirky...
Never been done before.
Never been done before. I'm just like so creative, you know, in everything I touch. So what kind of microwaves do you like, is what I want to know.
The type that I use says 3 things on it. It says goal, it says popcorn, and it says lasagna. Do you know that one?
Well, boy, do I have a surprise for you. World exclusive MTV Cribs, famous pop star Claire Jones is going to be showing you her microwave. I speak of myself.
Not on MTV, so it's just TV Cribs, but it's still good.
Wait, let me just come over here. So I'm going to show you something very special. I like to go like
this. Can you believe this, James?
See my room.
We're getting a behind-the-scenes view of this pop star's house.
Here we go. I'm going to show you this. You want to hit the door? Wait, I need to show the actual...
Whoa, that's a microwave, isn't it?
I know that everyone's obsessed with Nigella Lawson saying microwave, but I want to say that I was the original microwave bitch. So here we go. Here's my ding. So here we go. I need to judge the ding.
Wow. Now that's fair. Now, you know, I don't know anything about music. I like my rock. I like my Eagles albums, and that's it. But this guy, Phil, over here is a bit of a music head, as you can tell from the keyboard. Phil, was that a very musical ding, would you say?
It was great. I loved the tone of it.
He said he loved the tone of it, Claire.
Thanks so much. Coming from such a musical genius, that means so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
A little bit of praise there for fellow Shay. I suppose you must have stuff elsewhere on the internet that warranted that compliment, because so far it's just been Chelsea Dagger. And what would you say, Phil? Would you call yourself a genius, Phil, is what I'm asking?
I mean, that's for others to say.
I'm not going to say it.
Is he a genius, James?
Let's let him prove himself.
Okay, fair enough. Claire, let's
he's not.
Okay, thank you. He's not. Okay. Consensus. Claire, let's get back to you, because you, after all, are the star. Now, this single, to me... Oh, yeah, sorry, please, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting you, but I just have one more appliance that I just wanted Phil to hear, because I know that he's like such a musical...
Oh, that's great.
Now, to my untrained eye, that's a Hoover. Phil, is it something else? Is that some sort of an instrument, maybe from Taiwan or some such?
I would have guessed Hoover, but...
Okay. Is it a Hoover, Claire? Put us out of our misery. Is it Hoover?
Yeah, but you know, that sound is actually used a lot in Belgian techno. So basically, they could have sampled my Hoover. It's that good a sound. So I strongly recommend sample your Hoover.
I mean, this is just me trying to be silly and funny, and forgive me for this, but DJ Dyson. That's not even it. Forget it. Now, let's get to it, Claire, because this is serious stuff.
Okay.
You're single, grey tracksuits and French bulldogs. Am I right in thinking that if that doesn't go double platinum, something's going to happen? If
my song does not make #1, then I'm telling you something. It is over. I am out. I will be out of the music industry and literally out of music. I'll be running out of music. So what I want to say is buy my single. Yeah, buy the single, folks. You've heard it here first. That is the highest stakes possible. If you don't buy the single, you risk the 9th member of a band with 8 members not making music again. I couldn't make it any more clear than that. Phil, I think Claire's going to leave, so if you want to play a little exit music. Some exit music, yeah. I feel pretty offended by that, so I'm going to do a Piers Morgan or do a Patsy Kensit, or as they'll be calling her after this show, I'm going to do a Claire Jones and leave. Okay, well, there you go. That was unfortunate that we fell out with Claire Jones. When I get home, I'm going to do a Claire Jones and hoover my room and make a lasagna in the microwave. But I shouldn't make jokes about Claire Jones. She's quite a talented musician. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah. Well, I was quite excited to have her on. Great. Did you ever watch the microwave though?
No. I wasn't really listening.
I think she was. You want to listen? That's the only time I was really kind of. It was interesting. She had the one she was big enough like the ding.
I heard the ding.
That's a bit old fashioned, but he said you had the one that didn't turn, didn't spin this food around.
A still microwave. Yeah. It's the kind of thing that Philip K. Dick would have written about in one of his fantasy novels, I suppose.
But baguette in it end to end, and that's fine.
Probably in the future we'll all just be eating pills, won't we? Spaceship pills.
That's true enough.
It's mad.
It is mad.
The future is, a mystery to me, but let's focus on the present. And in the present, and in the words of Tony Soprano, Maro, everybody's got to pay the bills. No, I don't. You've seen The Sopranos, it's pretty good. So speaking of paying the bills, we have to pay ours. So now we're going to hear from another one of our valued sponsors, and it's Marvin's Wax Museum.
The World Show is sponsored by Marvin's Wax Museum. We've got all your favourite types of wax, including candle, ear, and bees. At Marvin's, the fun never wanes, 'cause it's always waxing. Find us behind the bins near the big Tesco.
What did you think of that? That was an interesting little advert there.
Yeah, I mean, wax is an interesting substance, isn't it?
Certainly. Yeah, absolutely. By all means. I've actually always wanted to ask you this, Phil. Is wax involved in music at all? Be honest.
Well, those old phonographs, I think they had wax cylinders that were
Well, if it's not involved, Paul, if
that's Phil, but
who?
Phil,
Phyllis would, because wax is in your ears, isn't it? Is it true? And I've heard this. I think it was in a book actually, that if you take the wax out of your ears, you can't hear music anymore. You just hear numbers. Is that true?
That sounds right.
Yeah, Stephen Fry told me it.
Oh. It was an audio book.
Harry Potter. He does Harry Potter, doesn't he?
He does Harry Potter. So I finished
Some
all
of
Harry
that's
Potters
fiction,
and then started again, and then
Dimbledore.
Dimbleby.
Yes,
Michael
Dimbledore.
Dimbledore.
Could have been. Yeah, we've had a couple more messages in from our readers. Specifically, we've got another one in from Donna, who you may remember from earlier, Phil. She says, "Answer me, Phil, you coward. Where the hell did you get that red-ass suit?" That's from Donna in Portugal now, so she's crossed the border from Spain into Portugal. Maybe you should answer it this time.
Yeah, thanks for your continued interest in the suit. We always like to get questions here, and thanks so much for providing another one. And
okay, well, it doesn't seems like you stole the suit or something. You got some reason not to talk about it, but let's not speculate. A couple more cards here. Loving the music this week. Does Claire do children's parties? Claire Jones, that is. The kids would adore her, and that's from Claire, who's a retail manager. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. I've got another one here that just says, Ross, what is Minions? Don't know what that means. Help, I'm trapped in a cue card factory. That's by Anonymous, that's a Joker. And the Joker in the pack is always the worst card. I always say that. Phil, is that a Moog? That's from Gary Lowett, who's a music teacher.
No, it's a keyboard.
Okay, so pretty bad music teacher. This one here, I made a butter sculpture of Orville Wright, one of them brothers who invented flight. I could have sculpted one of Wilbur too, but I needed the butter to make fondue. And that just says from Mummy. That's not right for this kind of show, so don't send those in. This final one's a science question, which I know you're interested in. Scientists say that a dog's sense of smell is 10,000 to 100,000 times better than a human's. Makes me think we might be wrong about dog shit. And that's from Tom Plum in Leeds. What do you make of that?
Right. So we just can't get past the battery. It's like a sort of a, if we could smell what's hidden behind it.
Oh, we're wrong, basically, yeah.
We must be in there. I'm willing to be proved wrong.
Yeah.
If I can get sort of some sort of dog nose peripheral on the old snooter.
Maybe next week I'm thinking we could, another world record that you could do.
If you want dog shit, I can get you some dog shit.
You could smell the most for a minute. I don't know how it would work, but it could be interesting. Science.
Would I get paid for it?
Nope. You will never get paid for this. They made that very clear when we started doing it. But let's move on to another segment of Your World, where we get to hear from our viewers. Now, this particular topic is going to be about life hacks. And I say that life hacks are like assholes. I generally try and steer clear of them. But we asked some of the world show's viewers what they thought of life hacks, and here's what they had to say.
Hey, life hack wise, you can get any girl in bed, right? If you go down the pet shop and get yourself a nice wee hamster, and then you name that hamster Any Girl and put it in your bed.
A life hack that's went wrong. Well, I'm working from home right now, and you know how in The Simpsons when Homer works from home he orders one of those little birds that tap the keyboard? Well, I ordered one of those online, but when it showed up it was an actual bird, and that bird didn't want to do that job. It mostly just wanted to like fly about and eat seeds.
If you've done a poo in the toilet and there's no paper, you can get in the bath and use the shower. Just spray the poo away. If the shower's broken because you've been throwing rocks at it, you can go outside in the garden, use a hose or with the rain.
My best life hack is definitely making cold brew at home. You know, I think I thought they did something, I don't know, complex to it, but they just make it cold. Like, I knew that iced coffee was coffee with ice in it, but I did not realise that cold brew was coffee that had been brewed cold. But you can make it at home.
Hi, so my life hack is basically if you live with a lot of people and you have to share a bathroom, what you do is, if you're short-sighted like me, is you don't wear your glasses. Sorry, I've got a spot. There we go. So you can't see. Oh, my skin looks fucked. What the actual fucking... Oh! Why do I look shit? Oh! So greasy face. Anyway, yeah, if you share a bathroom, people don't wear glasses. You can't see the pubes. It worked for me until, you know, I didn't have my glasses on and I accidentally did a shit in my flatmate's room. Anyway, that's my advice. Thanks.
I've got a life hack for you. This is a good one. If you're playing Micro Machines on a PS1, and you can activate Big Bounce by pressing circle, circle, square, R1, R2, R1, R2, circle, square, triangle, triangle, up, down, or if you go to the cheat screen and you type in tanks for me, that's all one word, all in caps, you can use tanks on any map.
Really?
So that's a life hack for you.
But you still get the Chivos.
Sorry, mate?
You still get the Chivos. The
Chivos will still be on.
They
still have Chivos going. Chivos are still activated.
That's all I care about because now I get getting my platinums.
Oh, I love getting platinum trophies.
What platinums have you got?
I've got for getting the most. I kiss every prostitute on GTA 5. And that's the only one I've got.
Well, that's pretty good.
No offense to GTA 5, which is a very good game. What platinum achievements have you got?
I got highest jumping in the basketball one.
NBA 2K1.
They give you like a total, like you've jumped 4 miles. The total. So I've jumped 4 miles. 2019, I got the one in. It's pretty good.
Sweet.
And you get a shiny basketball for doing it.
That's dope. I'm sure I can say that. It's really cool.
I'd say it's more fly than dope, but it's fine.
That's a balance of both, but agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are cool and good,
I know where you're going.
I'd love to get to another guest. Our next guest, speaking of our previous sponsor, Marvin Wax Museum, could probably live at bloody Marvin's Wax Museum because his name is Mr. Anthony Candle, believe it or not. He's a teacher, but he's not a conventional teacher. He actually uses acting to teach kids about history, if that makes any sense to you. We'll soon find out. Let's take a little look at a clip of Mr. Anthony Candle teaching over Zoom some of his students, and when we come back we'll talk to Candle about his techniques.
Me, Krogar, caveman, Krogar, see, mammoth, Krogar, think, Krogar, plan, Krogar, raise, spear, mammoth, see, Krogar, mammoth, run, far, Krogar, run, far, mammoth, swim, long, Krogar, swim, long, mammoth, have, bicycle, cycle far, cycle fast, Kroger have no bicycle. Kroger curse Carl von Dreiss, inventor of bicycle. Mammoth win triathlon. Kroger family starve.
Wow, there we go. That was probably all of our favourite teacher doing his cool thing. Mr. Anthony Candle, thanks for joining us on the show.
You're very welcome, Mr. Foley. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
We try and keep a kind of a cool, relaxed atmosphere here. You could probably guess from James's baseball cap. Do you mind if I call you Anthony or even Tony?
No, Mr. Candle would be most appropriate.
Okay, I will call you Candle. Candle, you teach kids history using acting? Did you ever think about teaching drama using old stones? That's a joke. Never mind that, Kendall. I can see that that's not your type of thing. Kendall, tell me about how you used to teach kids and how you teach them now. Go.
Well, my old method when I was teaching caveman studies would be to put on a tape of the Flintstones. Because the Flintstones is a very good resource. They got a lot right. They got, the hair right, the clothes right, the cars right. But it's very sanitized, it doesn't properly convey the sheer brutality of existence in the caveman times. So I try to give my children a more complete picture of that period by dressing up as a caveman and screaming and encouraging the children to participate in caveman activities such as fighting animals and eating whatever they want.
Okay, Kendall, but bear with me 1 second. I've got a question for you, James. I think this is sort of touching on the Flintstones thing. Yeah. If you could go out for a night of beer, you know what I mean? Yeah, having 6 or 7 of them and frosty beers with either Barney Rubble, Homer Simpson, or my man Peter Griffin. Who's it got to be? Tough question, so I know. Difficult. And Kendall, you can think of an answer too.
If I want to see it the next day, I'm going to be Homer. I'll be ducked out of the bloody...
Wild.
Yeah. But Peter's got the jokes. He's got the just family man. I'm all about family nowadays, so I'm going for Barney Rubble.
Okay. Kendall, who would you say? Who would as a historian, which of those cartoons would you drink with?
As a serious academic, I would probably prefer to go drinking with Fred Flintstone, the Alpha.
Wasn't an option, unfortunately. It would have to be Barney Rubble.
Oh, sorry, I was miles away. I was thinking about Bones.
That's okay, love. Don't worry, love. Let's just move on, shall we, love? Now, you said you used to use Flintstones and that didn't work, and now you use caveman acting. And does that work?
Yes.
Great, fantastic. So I suppose we've just seen a little sample of it, but what I'd really love to get is a little bit more caveman, because I think you've got a character you use, don't you? Called is it Kuba? Kuba. Coca-Cola. Is that right, Kendall? Cola.
No, the name I use when I am a caveman is Krogar.
Kotar. Okay, very good. Well, speaking of names, Anthony, this is going to blow your little nuts off. This is unreal. I play a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the name of the imaginary co-pilot that I fly with is Anthony Candle. How's that for coincidence?
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's remarkable.
Yeah, teach that in your history class next week. I think I can say. James has a point.
Sorry, Mr. Cadell. So you said that. So you do it on the Zoom, is that right? Did cavemen have Zoom, or did they just talk into a shell and then throw it?
Good question.
There is some evidence to suggest that cavemen had Zoom. But there's rather a lot more evidence that suggests that they instead used Skype or yelling very loudly so as to be heard from far away.
Makes sense. Right. One or the other. And is it true that cavemen didn't exist?
Well, no. Cavemen are rather a lot like dinosaurs and the Terminator. They definitely existed. They just exist no longer, or they don't exist yet.
I've got one last question for you, Candle, before we can have a little bit more of Crodar, the character. And that is Barney the dinosaur, Barney Rubble. What is it about this name that refuses to quit?
Good, strong caveman name. Cavemen and dinosaurs. Just cause.
Okay, Candle, just cause. Well, that seems like inspired academic sort of a...
So close to getting a platinum on that.
Yeah, no platinum for you. You're lucky to get a bloody silver PlayStation trophy. No offense. I'm sorry. It's typical bad boy behavior. Okay, Candle, let's hear Kogar. Let's do it. Cougar, go.
Absolutely.
Candle, Cougar, go. Yikers. If we could maybe just mute him, guys. We could just mute the caveman. Yeah, that's better.
It looks great what he's doing. Is this the one that teaches your kids?
Yeah, so he's at St. Aloysius, which is where my 8 through 12-year-olds are, Zurich, Zilly, and Simon.
Yes.
And to be honest, I could have done without seeing this, because that's probably not going to let them go there anymore.
No.
Could have done without that. You know, being a dad is tricky enough without this. Yeah. So we'll get the idea of that. Candle. Mr. Candle. That's that.
What are you supposed to be learning from that?
I don't know. Do cavemen have music, Phil?
Well, there's a theory that language and music had a common ancestor called Musi-language. I've been reading about that.
Yeah.
And,
what is it called? Tony what?
Tony?
What did you say? Tony Wanwich?
Tony Sandwich.
Music, it's like a compound word of music and language. So it's Musi-language.
But then surely that word came first, then, so it's languages.
Well, they wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known what to call it. They'd just gone.
He's got you there.
So is that a lie then? Are you lying just to impress us? Because it's working.
Well, I'd love to. Always happy to get a positive reaction.
No, I'm loving it.
Great. Well, maybe that's something we can return to. But I think, basically, folks, that is the end of this week's episode of the World Show. We've had some laughs. We've met some interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard some music, some good, some indifferent, and we've learned a lot. And we damn nearly beat a bloody world record. Just edged it. And I hope next week you'll join us, or next episode, I should say, you'll join us, James, and try and break another bloody world record.
If I'm free.
Or just do some more of those impressions, which are absolutely dynamite.
Nah.
Now, before we do check out, there's a few things that we should get to. The first of those would be, if you've enjoyed watching these performers and you want to find out more about them, hell's bells you might, then you can just look underneath the YouTube video that you're watching, where you'll see links to their Twitters and their competitive chess profiles, and I imagine you'll be selling sort of wicker baskets or something in the bottom there, Phil? No?
I hadn't thought of that, but...
Tell them about your Etsy.
You got Etsy?
Tell them about your Etsy.
No, that's my sister's. She does like art, prints and...
Well, it's not linked in the bottom, but please do try and find Phil's sister's Etsy. And that would be the sort of takeaway from this week's episode, if at all possible.
Yeah.
We'd also like to thank our sponsors, magnificent as they are, and also just put the word out that if anyone else wants to sponsor the show, Pepsi, Colgate, toothbrushes, like just an old political party or even a new political party, then we are open to really any small amount of money, even will get your name up on screen. Also like to thank this little chestnut, Monkey Barrel Comedy, has been kind enough to host us today. We have to thank them for that. We did want to do this in the Royal Albert Hall, but they were double booked. They had Duran Duran doing sound checks. So shit happens. And yeah, anything to say, gentlemen, before we close up the show?
I hope it helped your little project.
Yeah, I hope I helped your little project.
I feel much better.
Yeah. It's nice to spend time with you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Godfather, godson, bonding time.
We'll just get back on, Xbox Live. It's fine.
Yeah, we'd love to see you on there.
If anyone from Xbox is watching, I've changed my attitudes, and I don't swear much anymore, and I'm quite a good team player on Rocket League. So
sweet, sounds cool. And Phil, anything you want to add?
It's just a pleasure to be here.
Wizard, okay, Wizard. So we're going to end the show with something a bit special, and it's something that I've been preparing for weeks now. I'm a good singer, and with a bit of work, I've managed to become a great singer. And so I'd like to tackle a song that I think encapsulates this show and the vibe behind it. And in order to do that, I have asked Mr. Phil O'Shea to prepare some music. Did you get the notes?
If this was an email and it would have ended with chill. What was it? Chill vibe.
Follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss. So
yeah. So
I can look at it when I get home.
What do you know? Well, that one's not going to be any good. Do you know My Way by Frank Sinatra?
Oh, it's a really famous song, yeah.
But do you know the notes?
I couldn't play it. I would love to be able to play something like that, but
I want to sing. It's close. I want to sing it. So, do you have anything similar, or maybe old timey?
I could do like a boogie woogie sort of riff. Okay. Do you want to hear that?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Okay. Well, I'll have to do because it's the show finale. I've been practicing this for. So I guess. If you don't mind, I'll pop my headphones in, and I'll be able to not have to listen to you.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll do the same. So you might put me off.
You probably won't hear what I'm saying because it's pretty cool. But okay, well let's end the show with this. Not the finale I hoped for, but the finale I got. And that metaphor for life. And just when you're ready, Phil, and then I'll start probably singing as well. And now, and now, the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ended up and spat it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Thank you for watching The World Show. Bye-bye.